What is going on, true believers? These are your ETH maxis right now. The Solana network has gone down. A fix is in place. We're going to go over some of the news, try to figure out exactly what it is that's going on. Actually, we're not, because we don't care. We're not developers. What we are wondering about is a lot of different things. But Jupiter has issued a statement reassuring everybody as an investor that your funds are safe. And Solana, for their credit, they've gone silent and haven't said anything. So that's a little concerning. But in reality, your funds are probably pretty safe, except for the funds that aren't, because Solana declined about 5% in the last few hours. If that's the case, then how far down is it going to go? We don't know the answer to that yet, but we're going to try to unpack it and figure it out. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleed. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 Been around since the 80s and wasn't always cool, especially with the ladies. I was a damn fool. Dad was an alcoholic. Mama, she had to leave him. Grew up around the fighting, the fussing, cussing, and cheating. That's when I started breaking all of the rules, selling drugs and robbing people. I was kicked out of school. I was a bad kid, tearing shit up, sleeping on couches with 40 bottles and cigarette butts. Years go by and I got sick. Stage 4 lymphoma, how'd I get this shit? Lucky to be alive, so I changed my ways. I'm on that good life tip today. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I want you to go there with me, girl. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Baby, we can have it all. We can make love out of waterfalls. I'm living that good life.
All right, guys. So here we are right now with a lot going on. First and foremost, let's get this out of the way. If you like this content, make sure that you hit the like button. Helps push me up in the algorithm. If you notice down here at the bottom, the new partner here is going to be Fairdesk going forward. So if you haven't already, consider signing up to Fairdesk. I do believe that the link is in the description down below, so that you can sign up there. In the meantime, Solana block production halts. Validators confirm major outage. And this goes really funny because Anatoly Yevchenko just gave an interview recently talking about how they're going to upgrade and Fire Dancer, I think, is their next big upgrade. So the Fire Dancer upgrade is getting ready to come out, and now here they have another down moment. And they were celebrating because it's been a year since they've had any kind of outage or downtime. But almost 1 year later, here we are. So Jupiter, in the meantime, has issued a statement, and they said, the Solana network is currently down, but our whole team is on standby to reply to all your questions if needed. Just open a ticket in Discord, and we will get to it ASAP. In addition, if you have a stop loss on your perps, it will execute exactly at that price. So you're not getting liquidated over some wild ass crazy whatever happens. At least that's what Jupiter Exchange says. Can they do that? Are they able to? That's going to be the question. I don't know the answer to that, but it looks like potentially that could be the case. And so cross your fingers and hope for the best. So we don't really know yet. But Solana, to their credit, they've issued a statement, and I'm just kidding. Solana hasn't said anything yet. So we have no information, no update from Solana so far. They've just been very quiet. But Stakewitz, Lane over at Stakewiz, issued a statement here saying Solana mainnet beta is experiencing performance degradation. Block progression is currently halted. Core engineers and validators are actively investigating. So they are updating people on it as we go here. This is the incident report right here, MB020624. This was about 4 hours ago. And now we got another update. And the update is they're about to deploy a fix as the network suffers a major outage. Core engineers have identified a fix and are building a new version for validators to upgrade. Network validator M. Trump said in a post. That post coming out right here at 4:49 a.m. Core engineers have identified a fix and are building a new version for validators to upgrade. So looks like there's going to be a new version. There will be a restart of the Solana blockchain. Until then, expect to see some sell pressure as it continues to scare investors off. And then in closing with the Solana today, not the end of the Solana stories, but this broke yesterday or a couple days ago, and it said Solana Mobile still has a long way to go until it hits break even. Now, if you remember, the Solana 2 phone is scheduled to come out, sold 60,000 copies, and is now on back order before pre-launch, by the way. The pre-launch orders were 60,000. Now, why, if there's a phone that's not really working really good, is this happening? And the answer to that is airdrops. The reason that people are buying up the Solana phone is because they believe that they're going to get more airdrops. Remember, if you bought it, then you got an airdrop of Bonk, which of course exploded in price and made it very, very, very worth the investment in the Solana phone. So it gives you access to airdrops, exclusive airdrops, and those exclusive airdrops have turned into quite the farm for people who are looking for some airdrops. So Solana Mobile maybe going to upgrade pretty soon. TechCrunch, not a big fan of it so far, but hey, things happen, right? Also, look, here's what's going on right now. The big thing that's in the news is this. BlackRock, Fidelity, ARC-21, they are buying up the Bitcoin off of exchanges. They bought $70 million in Bitcoin yesterday. And I want you just to get kind of an idea of that. 10,000 Bitcoin is coming off of the exchanges almost every day on average. And if that's the case, it is only a matter of time before Bitcoin starts to run out on exchanges. Now, if you've been sleeping under a rock or you haven't been paying attention, then you might notice that Bitcoin on exchanges is at an all-time low right now, which would mean that the run on Bitcoin has already started. Now, here's the thing. This is going faster than anybody even thought was possible, and that's going to cause a serious price crunch. So, I would like to say that, there's something brewing here, and it's going to be a ridiculous amount of price action, and it's coming a lot sooner than I think any of us think here. Bitcoin News reports at this rate, the grayscale Bitcoin selling is going to conclude faster than many think because it continues to dwindle. When it does, the Bitcoin ETFs will be draining 10,000 Bitcoin off of exchanges every day. Now, thing is, they're buying over 10,000 per day, but the Grayscale's been selling. Grayscale's not selling 10,000 a day, but 10,000 are being bought every day. Now, when Grayscale flips the switch and they start becoming a buyer again, what do you think happens over this short period of time? Make sure you hit the like button, by the way, on the way in. This is going to be an incredible moment. If you were to look at Bitcoin on exchanges, this is the Bitcoin balances on exchange tracker available from CoinGlass. This is your changes for the day. Okay, so going down here, 7,000 Bitcoin have been removed from exchanges over the last 7 days. and it's probably going to continue to dwindle. Look at how much is coming off of each and every one of these these exchanges. Now, if you look at the 30-day change, you see plus 10,000 over here. You see plus 9,000, but you're starting to see all of these other ones starting to pull them off. Now, there's 14,000 more Bitcoin on exchanges in the last 30 days because people have been prepping. They've been trying to sell. In the last 7 days, though, it started to become a buy. So, and we're going to see people continue to move their Bitcoin to the exchange because they're going to want to sell. They're going to be motivated sellers so that they get and take advantage of whatever the price is here. They're going to wait for a dip. They're going to try to accumulate and they're going to try to buy their way back in. But incredibly, there is a tremendous amount of Bitcoin that will just start to appear. I mean, guys, if you look at this and you just consider that there's 1.8 million Bitcoin on exchanges, if 10,000 Bitcoin disappear per day going to these ETFs in the course of a month, that's 300,000 Bitcoin. In the course of, well, let's just assume 250,000. And if we do that over the course of 1 year, that's 3 million. I'm sorry. God damn it. Yeah, that's 3 million. That's 3 million Bitcoin coming off of exchanges never to return. Now, right now, there's only 1.891 million Bitcoin, but people, of course, will move their Bitcoin to the exchanges to continue to sell. There's still going to continue to be sell pressure, but at what point do you reach where people are no longer attracted to selling because they want to hodl because they think that this price is only going up? People realize that. They know that. So what do you do then? Well, the answer to that is you just hodl. And when that happens, then the price goes way up. What you're looking at is the start of a supply crunch for Bitcoin that's going to end with 100, 200, 300 million dollar Bitcoin. Like the price of Bitcoin is not going down, let me tell you. And if it does, it's not going down by that much, and it will not go down for long. The world is a different place now. So just bear that in mind when you're buying Bitcoin at this point. Now, of course, by the way, it should be recognized that if you are trying to, if you're trying to quote unquote make it in crypto, and you got $1 million, buy Bitcoin, load up on Bitcoin, put a little bit of an investment in, some side chains that you think are gonna be bullish. Put, go do what you got to do, boo boo. However, if you don't have that, then Bitcoin's not changing your life nearly as much as some of these other tokens. So consider your investments based on the amount of funds that you have available. You should always be heavy on Bitcoin. You should always be holding on to Bitcoin. That is your goal. That is your store of value. And look, if Bitcoin's trading at $43,000 today, right now, and in 2 months it's trading at 100,000, or in 3 months it's 100,000, you've doubled your bag. That's 100% gain over that period of time. Now, could another token go 400x, 500x, 600x? Yeah, sure, it absolutely could. However, the deal here is it's more likely that Bitcoin goes up and goes on a parabolic run first before everything else does. So change your life first with Bitcoin before you start wasting time and opportunity on some of these other ones. And Bitcoin right now trading at 42,857. Everything was kind of having an okay sort of run. And look at Ethereum. Ethereum is up 1.5% on the day, just having a nice little run. Now, if you followed my video yesterday, then you know that we've got a few positions open, very small, but open over here on our futures platform, which is now Fair Desk. And as you can see right here, we're up 157% on that Bitcoin, very small one. But we have Ethereum 10x here. We're up 25 bucks, 17% right now. And consequently, we have another one, which is our Solana, which, God, what a day to pick Solana, right? And it's down $26. Now, I do think that Solana very quickly will reverse and, will be just fine. However, it should be noted, of course, that this happened. This is that's not optimal. That's not the look that you wanted to have, especially for Solana today, because we just bought it. But it's down a little bit, and we'll see how this goes. We'll see, what this we'll see what happens over the short term. Now, we're going to see how the U.S. market reacts to it. And I'm going to be certainly interested to see how that plays out. But Bitcoin starting to dwindle off. Bitcoin price pullback below 48,000 as uncertainty permeates the market. So I asked myself, what is the uncertainty that we're talking about in this market? Price action caused the liquidation of over 75 million in cryptocurrency long position. What's the reason, right? Genesis files to sell Grayscale asset. Price movement comes as bankrupt crypto lender Genesis Global Capital on Saturday filed a new motion with the U.S. Bankruptcy Court in the Southern District of New York in order to sell $1.6 billion in trust assets. By the way, trying to give you just nickels. Just nickels. They want to give you like $18,000 per Bitcoin. The Bitcoin that's now worth $43,000. According to the filing, the assets held by Genesis, subsidiary of the digital currency group, Barry Silbert, that low-browed dirtbag, trust about 1.4 billion shares of Grayscale Ethereum Trust worth about 165 million, and shares of Grayscale Ethereum Classic Trust worth about 38 million. The company also filed a separate motion to shorten the relevant deadline so that the sale motion could be heard at the bankruptcy court next hearing on February 8th. So we're 2 days away from, if they say that, then, if that's true, then we'll know about this within 2 days. So you might be seeing a little bit of downward pressure. Pay attention to the signals. Is it going to be long-term? No. Is it going to be a crazy dip? I doubt it. It's $1.6 billion. $1.6 billion gets traded every day. It's not, not that big a deal. However, another one, Federal Reserve, and by the way, I'm absolutely disagreeing with this one as a reason for this to be happening, because the logic behind it makes absolutely no sense. Federal Reserve signals rate cut delay. Now, they did not signal, in fact, a rate cut delay. What they did was they said, and they stood by, that there would be 3 rate cuts in 2024. So the market said, that must mean 6, George. So the markets decided that it was going to be 6 instead of 3, and that Jerome Powell would somehow be lying. Well, on Sunday, he gave an interview, and he said he still expects 3 rate cuts. And the market was like, what do you mean 3? I thought you said 6, 3, 3, 6. You said 3, which is 6 to us, and now it's going to be 3? What? So that's the kind of wild shit that you get when you're dealing with these markets. So Powell stated that the rate cut in March, anticipated by Wall Street, is not likely to happen. We said that we want to be more confident that inflation is moving down to 2%. I think it's not likely that this committee will reach that level of confidence in time for the March meeting, which is in 7 weeks. So, and he didn't say there was a rate cut in March, by the way. At no point did he say there was a rate cut in March. This is just the market speculating. So the market is gambling, and the news, of course, says, "Oh, well, we're not gambling, right?" Or whatever the case may be. So, and then we have Bitcoin call options concentrate on 50,000. Metrics from derivative markets continue to indicate that bullish sentiment for Bitcoin is in the medium term, and it's being sustained. Bitcoin active option data ahead of the end of month expiry on February 23 shows the largest cluster of contracts outstanding are calls with a strike price of 50,000, according to Durbit. There are over 3,899 contracts outstanding for calls at the strike price of 50,000, with a notional value of over 166 million. In options trading, a call option gives the holder the right but not obligation to buy the underlying asset at a specified price before or on the expiration date. The fact that there is a large cohort of call options at 50,000 suggests that a considerable number of traders could be anticipating that the price of Bitcoin will rise above 50,000 by the end of the February expiration date. Now, it should be noted that what they're looking for when they're doing this is they're looking for these options traders, what they're looking for is they're looking for that bullish signal. Okay, they're looking for that big move. They think that Bitcoin is headed to at least 50,000, and that's going to be their bullish breakout move. And then that's going to give them the option to buy. The largest group of outstanding call options right now are for 45,000. That's confirmation of a bullish narrative. And if that's where all of these start to get filled, it's because they feel like the price is going to be going up. So they're going to, of course, they're going to end up buying it at 45 or 50,000, but they're thinking that it's going to go up over 50 into the 53 range, I want to say. And if that happens, then they've just made a nice amount of money. And here's the thing, in the event, because of these options, this could lead to an absolute breakout. Now, remember, I gave you your liquidation levels, and I told you guys that there's big money sitting up here at these liquidity levels. And as you kind of make your way out, it's not as yellow, it's not as bright and shiny all the way up, but there are, like, this pocket right here, $717 million is just sitting there for the taking. 900 million is sitting here for the taking up here. So there's a lot of motivation, I think, for the market to move towards that upside. If we look at this on a year basis, then the market gets pretty dark on the way up here. However, when you look at some of these capital positions right here, you're looking at $3.14 billion that's sitting right now at the top of where we went last time, which is 49,000. I want to say 49,400, something like that. So there's a lot of money sitting up here. There's a lot of motivation for a lot of people to get this price pumping. So I get the sense, or I get the feeling, that we're probably about to see something really grand start to happen. But I think obviously Solana is going to have to be fixed before now. No, the metaverse is not dead, says an industry expert. Initiatives are debunking the myths about digital immersion by promoting physical activity, illustrating the impact beyond virtual realms. So Anna Monica Brands provided Being in Crypto with invaluable insight into why the metaverse is surviving and thriving. According to CU, the metaverse transcends virtual escapism, embodying the next quantum leap in internet evolution. Now, we're seeing some of that, by the way, with that Apple Vision Pro that people are starting to buy. And that's going to lead to a move probably for the good of the metaverse. The metaverse growth is underpinned by substantial technological advances and cultural shifts, particularly in how we perceive and interact with digital environments. Embracing this technology means understanding it as a decentralized internet, or Web3. This revolutionary concept has already begun to reshape online interactions, granting them new depths, authenticity, and economic value. So the metaverse is not confined to the abstract or the purely digital. It intersects significantly with the physical world, which is what we're seeing with that headset that's going around right now. Companies like GOQII, Sweatcoin, and Olive X leverage blockchain technology to encourage health and activity. And guys, don't. You've started to see videos of the Apple Pro Visions in the wild, and you're seeing people interacting with their environments in ways that to this point you've never seen before, and it's only going to get crazier. I mean, guys, just imagine, if you will, imagine, if you will, a world in which you go to a building, and that building is just an empty room or something like that with some furniture and stuff like that, and you get into a first-person shooter where you're actually playing as that character, and you're having an actual PvP battle in that digital world with your Vision headset. Like, those are the things that are probably coming. You're interacting with your house. You're interacting with your rooms. You've got zombie invasions happening inside your house if you want them to. There's a lot of different stuff going on in these places. The metaverse is far from dead right now. It just hasn't achieved the price action that a lot of people have been wanting to see in crypto so far. So, but a lot of stuff could change in the near future. Again, Bitcoin starts to rip, then we start to see everything really, really change. Now, for specific Bitcoin news, Bitcoin's price pressure starting to be exhausted. That's what analysts are saying at Coinbase. And what they're saying is that is a bullish narrative, because this means that the sellers are starting to get bought out. Like, the sellers are starting to feel, anybody who wants to sell, or they're selling at these prices. But guess what? The price keeps moving up. So basically what that means is everybody who's a seller right now, you're an idiot. And the market is proving that you're an idiot. And you, being an idiot, don't even see it and keep selling. That's because you're an idiot. You know what I mean? So quit selling, idiots. Anyway, moving on. ETFs bought $70 million in Bitcoin. This is yesterday. They bought $70 million in Bitcoin, guys. It's getting bigger. BlackRock reportedly holds now 72,466 Bitcoin, worth $3.1 billion. So, and this, by the way, this is, how is it possible that the ETFs buy so much Bitcoin and there is no reaction at the Bitcoin price? For anybody who's asking that brain dead sort of question, Grayscale Bitcoin is selling them. The rest of the market is buying them. So it's pretty simple. It's math. And if they're buying small amounts every day, and each one of these places are buying small amounts every day, it's not really affecting the price, because again, you still got the both the actual pressure of selling, the actual pressure of selling from Grayscale Bitcoin, and then you've got the perceived fact that the running narrative to all of this, because look, you're being manipulated by the news. When you're manipulated by the news, what you see is something like Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is selling. They're trying to shake you out. They want to get your Bitcoin at a cheaper price. That's the goal. So when they give you the news, they're telling you, oh my God, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is selling. They're not telling you, oh, and by the way, iBit is buying it all up with Fidelity and ARC-21. They don't want you to know that, because that would cause people to say, well, I'm not selling. And if you're not selling, price go up. So they're motivated to keep you in a sell mode for right now. So expect the news to not be as clean as you would like it to be, or as honest as you would like it to be. It will be manipulated. And look, as long as Barry Silbert is in charge of news in any way, expect to be lied to, expect to be deceived, expect to be manipulated. That's a testament of who he is and what he does. That's CoinDesk, that's Cointelegraph. That's a lot of the news sources that we get in cryptocurrency. So just expect that you are going to be deceived. Now, because there's ETFs now, and because BlackRock, and because all of these other bigger companies are doing it, the narrative changes, and that narrative comes down to now like Wall Street Journal or other places where you would normally get basic financial news. Well, they're now motivated to give you daily updates on Bitcoin, because now you've got curiosity, and that curiosity leads to manipulation, because they want you to think a certain way. Because if you think a certain way as an investor, they can take advantage of that, because they know what you're thinking, or they know what the majority is thinking, and they want to take advantage of you, and they want to get your Bitcoin from you at a lower price so they can sell it to somebody else at a higher price. That's what's going on. Also, Valkyrie's spot Bitcoin ETF strengthens its coin custody by partnering with Coinbase and BitGo. So Valkyrie is now partnered with Coinbase and BitGo, improving their custody. Then the amount of Bitcoin sold by Grayscale each day has decreased for a week straight. After 17 days, we've seen 175,000 Bitcoin bought by ETFs, and Grayscale has sold 141,000. So that would indicate to me that at some point when Grayscale stops selling, that's when it really starts to happen. So far, they've bought 34,000 Bitcoin total over 17 days. Now, that, by the way, is not 10,000 per day. Okay. To be clear, that's not 10,000 per day. However, Grayscale becomes a buyer at some point when they stop selling. Grayscale will become a buyer soon. When they become a buyer, the rest of the places are still already going to be buyers. So when you look at 175,000 bought over 17 days, that's 10,000 per day. So we're looking at 10,000 Bitcoin being bought per day very, very soon. So what happens when this is all said and done? Well, when it's all said and done, then Bitcoin starts to dry up and Bitcoin starts to run out. And then what do you do then? You pay more. So $708 million in institutional money hits Bitcoin and crypto ETPs in 1 week, according to CoinShares. Digital asset manager CoinShares says institutions are pouring money into crypto exchange traded products to the tune of $708 million weeks after the US SEC approved spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds. In this latest digital asset fund flow report, CoinShares finds that crypto investment products saw massive inflows last week as Grayscale outflow slowed down. Digital asset investment products saw large inflows totaling 708 million, bringing year-to-date inflow to 1.6 billion and top global assets under management to 53 billion. Trading volumes and ETPs fell to 8.2 billion compared to the prior week of 10.6, although remain well above the 1.5 billion weekly average in 2023. Consider, if you will, that the volume last week was 8.2 billion. Prior week was 10.6 billion, but the average for 2023 was 1.5 billion. Does that tell you how much interest there is in cryptocurrency and how much interest there is in Bitcoin and Ethereum right now? Because it should be giving you an alarming number right now. We are not ready for what's getting ready to happen. Next up, ARK Invest Kathy Wood says substitution of gold for Bitcoin is now underway. And look, Peter Schiff is furious. If you don't know who Peter Schiff is, you've been sleeping under a rock, and that rock is made out of dirt or something, because nothing made out of something valuable goes through Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff, a longtime gold maxi, furious today. If you ever watch, if you ever want to be entertained, go follow Peter Schiff on Twitter. He is one of the most bonkers idiots you've ever seen. He goes out of his way to prove to you that he can't pick anything. Like, he's been telling you for years. I mean, years. He's been telling you Bitcoin's going to zero. Bitcoin has no value. That anybody who invests in Bitcoin is an absolute idiot. You should be putting all your money in gold. And he feels like he's a genius because the other day Bitcoin, gold did hit an all-time high, and he's like, gold is at an all-time high. Is Bitcoin at an all-time high? Well, then gold dunks 20%, and he's like, oh, wait a minute, man. Gold should not be dumping right now. Bitcoin should be the one that's dumping. Like, this is just absolutely crazy. And he's furious when people are doing this. So now ARK Invest Kathy Woods is doing the same thing. So just follow Peter Schiff. You should get a real big kick out of it. He's funny as hell. Just because he's just one of those clueless donkey brains that they talk about on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So, but moving on, altcoins. We don't have any Ethereum news right now, other than that big dog walk that's happening right now for Ethereum as the maxis just walk down the street as Solana's crashed. But traders say the altcoins ready to witness the next push to the upside, predicts a rally for Chainlink Challenger. So we have this is happening right now. Michael Vandepop tells his 692,000 followers that altcoins could double in the coming months. He says the total 3 chart, which tracks the total market cap of Bitcoin, everything excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, appears to have printed a bullish higher low set up at around 450 billion. Altcoins are ready to have their next push and could possibly go 2x in the next months, which is exactly right. Because in fact, if you were to look, and we've been waiting for the actual explosion here for altcoins, and we haven't gotten it. But look at this. I mean, here we are. Really, are we in altcoin season? Like, we keep getting to we're not in altcoin season, but we're getting closer and closer and closer on this index. And we were even up in the 80s at one point. We didn't have the blow off yet. We haven't gotten into the, it didn't go crazy, but we're getting closer and closer and closer and closer to that absolute blow off moment. So at some point soon, we do see that flip happen, and it's going to be super exciting. So Vandepop also notes that API 3, remember, guys, I told you this a couple days ago. So if you're interested, API 3, and look, we're going to talk about that right here. And look, the API 3 is going to be $100 to $300 a token. Like, it's going to go absolutely insane at some point. So, concluding his analysis with Chainlink rival API 3, Vandepop says that the decentralized Oracle provider is waking up and heading towards a price tag of between 460 and 480, as long as it can maintain its support around 250. Oracles are starting to fire up, as Pyth and Link have been showing a tremendous amount of momentum. API 3 is also waking up, as we can see with the recent push. As long as it stays above $2.50, I think a rally to 460 or 480 is possible. Now, what is API 3? So if you go look at API 3, then you've got to get super excited, because what it is it's an API that allows you to bridge Web 2 into Web 3. So this is kind of incredible here. Now, this is what can you do with it. If you want to become a contributor, no positions right now. You can connect. You can open up. You can connect with your banking for data providers. Give me 1 second here, and I'll pop this up on the screen. All right, here's your data feeds. So go to the API market. Here we go. All right, so these are the APIs that you can connect. You can connect with Apple stock, Aave, Cardano, Algo, Algorand, Amazon, Anchor, Ape, API 3, of course, Aptos. This is alphabetical, by the way. So let's go look at equities here. Apple, Amazon, ARC Capital, Coinbase, Disney, GME, Google, Intel, JP Morgan, Meta, Microsoft, Netflix, Nvidia. I don't know what QQQ is, by the way. SPY, Tesla, and TSMC. So you can actually interact now with Web 2 through API 3. How long do you think before API 3, which is the bridge between Web 2 and Web 3 for investors, goes out of its mind? Like, this is going to be one of the biggest things that you're going to see very, very soon. Looks like Solana is starting to reverse back up to $95. So it must be back up right now. So let's move on. Let's try to get through here. Solana gains crucial foothold, which of course is about to be lost. XRP's price movements are too predictable, which would indicate problems. And then, is this the last resort for Ethereum? Well, turns out it's not, because Ethereum is absolutely breaking out right now. So kudos to everybody who's been holding on to your Ethereum. And by the way, your Bitcoin continues to move up as well. But this juncture, the 50 EMA is acting as a dynamic resistance level on Solana. Solana's attempt to break above this level has been met with resistance, but there is a persistent effort in the bulls to push through. Should Solana manage to decisively close above the 50 EMA, it would likely confirm as an important new support level, which could bolster investor confidence and potentially lead to a new leg in its price against Ethereum. Look, Solana's poised to break. Now, this is untimely, by the way. What happened today was untimely, but the breakout is probably towards $150 on Solana. So that's not. I mean, it's not gigantic. If you're holding 1,000 Solana, it's going to be. But for the rest of everybody, it's not that. It's not going to be that big a move if you're just holding a small amount. But it is a big move. So Ethereum approaches a key technical indicator, and the outcome could dictate the asset's trajectory in the coming weeks. Currently, Ethereum prices hover near a crucial point, engaging with the 50-day EMA. At this juncture, the 50 EMA serves as the immediate resistance level. The ability of ETH to break above this mark is crucial. If successful, it could signal a return to bullish momentum, with potential targets set for higher resistance levels, such as the recent high around 2436. Failure to breach this level, however, could spell trouble for Ethereum's short-term prospects. A rejection of the 50 EMA could lead to a price retracement towards the 100, which is around 2199, around the 2200 mark. This would not only negate the recent progress, but could also result in bearish sentiment. So EMA, by the way, is the expanded moving average. So if anybody is paying attention, what we use we use generally simple moving average, which means that it takes for if it's a 20 SMA, it takes the last close of the last 20 days, it adds them up and then divides by 20, and then it averages out what the price should be based on those averages. For an EMA, for an expanded moving average, what it does is it takes those same 20 days and it puts a greater weight, and it divides by 30. It takes the last 10 days and kind of doubles the amount. It's not exact, by the way, but it takes the last 10 and it increases the value of those last 10, and then it divides so that more emphasis is put on the current price than is put on the price from 20 days ago. That allows you to have, and it's a sliding scale, by the way. It's not perfect the way I just said it, but that gives you an idea, and it gets you closer to the current price action. So, or tells you, trend lines, how it should be. So that's what an EMA is versus an SMA. Anyway, so Ethereum's last stop. We're all dead. It's going to zero. As far as chains go over here, Ethereum, $1 billion. Solana, $607 million. But guess what? I bet that's about to go down quite a bit today. So we'll see how that kind of trends here. So now let's talk about, let's get into the meme space and stuff like that. Bencoin experiencing a little continued move to the upside. This is on the hour chart, but look at this right here. Good morning, GameStop. Boom, 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 boom. Is up 83%, having the breakout. Where did it break out? The 786 line. Duh, because why? Because that's what it do. Came up here, got a little rejection off of the 382, and then went right up to the 236. So the breakout is in full effect for GameStop. I would expect that you're probably going to see some more highs coming out of GameStop very soon. What up with MAGA, dude? It just hit an all-time high again. Remember, it consolidated. We did say that this is probably going to continue the breakout, right? So from the impulse move, we got this big move. Where did it go? Came down to the 0.5, came down to 0.618 at one point. It's probably not the actual impulse move in hindsight. It's actually probably right there. The impulse move is that kind of spot right there where it sort of took off. So that puts you at the 0.786, hovering around there, and you just had a breakout above to a new all-time high. So MAGA up 63.6%. Let's go look at, because we always get that question, let's go look at Trump 2024. Maybe it's having a gigantic breakout as well, and it is having a gigantic breakout. Trump 2024, not near its all-time high, but a significant breakout nonetheless. So again, hovering around that 786 line, and now it's pumping up. It's at the 382, so expect it to move to the 236 if this is confirmed. That's a longer term breakout, by the way. This is a little bit of a longer term breakout. As you can see here, we're going to get rid of some of this mess that we've got right there. And then we're going to take this, open it up a little bit, and from this little range, it's probably right there, because that's probably one of those freaky little wicks. But you can see a rejection off of the 382, probably moving up to 9,100 over the next few hours. You know, we're going to get another little push up there. But that is if the push is not over with. It could be that the push is over. So we'll see what happens. Solana up about 8% on the day, 8.8% to be exact. Ben up 7%. AvicPay up 0.2%. Bone down a little bit. Saitama down a little bit. Myro struggling mightily right now. Myro had a nice big run, a nice little gain, and then just kind of fell apart. So looks like, I mean, guys, I'm not saying that Myro's dead, but I can tell you this, today would not be the day, because what you just got, what you just got was a crash of the Solana blockchain. And by the way, Solana is ripping right now. It's up to $96. On this, there's got to be something wrong here, right? This is no, it's saying $96. So Solana very quickly recovering in price. It looks like came down to the 20 MA, bouncing back through the 50 on the daily. On the 1 hour, it looks like we've got a strong reversal on it. We've got the wicks down here showing that we've probably achieved the bottom. Bounced off the 20 MA. Now over the next couple of hours, the question is going to be, can you get back up here to the 200? Can you start to use the 200 as support? Can you get a breakout? Well, you just crashed. So getting a breakout would be a wild thing, by the way, just in case, just so you guys know, it's going to be a little bit weird if you were to have some kind of incredible breakout of it. But you are seeing a breakout on Ethereum right now, on the Ethereum price at 2341. Bitcoin also making a move, not a move, just again, you're gonna have to get back up over here, and we're gonna have to get above this area. Otherwise, then However, I think if I look at this technical with a technical eye in some way, you might be able to say that, okay, so if you just grant me that maybe this kind of move right here, and it's still inside this move, right? So it's still kind of inside here, and you see that this is resistance here, and you see, that spike right there was a wild move, right? Now I'm going to zoom in here so you guys can see this just a little bit better. And I want to try to make sure I get it all on the page so that we can kind of look at that. But just grant here that this fib level, which is a long-term fib level, by the way. Let's just get rid of that for the moment. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just me putting a random green line on the screen. God damn it. Oh, believes. Anyway, it represents a trend line. I really thought, by the way, that I had some kind of fib tool up here. So anyway, you've got this resistance that's kind of formed over here, bouncing off, bouncing off. Used as support one time, but then you had the breakout, which was the ETF announcement. Then you had it come back down. You had a little retest over here, came back into this channel here, and then it came back up. It retested right here. See what's happening right here? What you're doing is you're coiling up for an explosion, and that explosion, that's price action, and that's probably going to be that absolute breakout that's getting ready to happen on these charts. Now, if I tighten this up just a little bit, then you can probably make an argument along the way here that I'm too rangy in this, and that we're probably looking at an absolute breakout, that it's more likely that it's more this line right here, and that breakout is coming like imminently. So, you could probably make that argument. So, I'm going to be interested to see what happens, but it just feels like, it seems to me like this whole market is coiling up for a big move. And when you have millions of dollars starting to be invested and bet on these call options at 50,000, at 45,000. These guys are intending to make a bunch of money, and they're intending to make a bunch of money at a much higher price action than where we currently are. When you see that, that would be indicative of a strong sentiment among institution of a big move getting ready to come. So I would say, and look, we don't know that that's going to happen, but I mean, hold on tight, and let's see what does transpire here. So, market generally up $8 billion on the day. Ethereum still getting that nice little run right there. What we would like to see on Ethereum, by the way, it came up here. We got that big move. It's on 382 right now. What we want is that big retest right here, which, by the way, 2430, 2450. 2450 is basically the number. Now, depending on where you closed on a different exchange, you might have a slightly different number, by the way. So you might have somebody who says that the number's just down tiny bit here. Maybe they closed a little bit lower. Or maybe they close on the overall. This is the MEXC perpetual futures. So the number might be slightly off in some of these different ranges. But what you would expect to see is you would expect to see a retest of that 0.236, which means 2450 is probably coming for Ethereum very soon. Money flow, check your money flow down here. You can see the RSI is about to flip the signal, and you're getting into the green on money flow. And if you get a move like this right here, then you're looking at upside momentum. How much upside momentum? Well, the last time we had that move was, we had the upside momentum right here, and then boom, that's what we got. So what does it look like over here? Well, if we get that and we have that, well, then guess what? That comes up into that 28.29. That's that range that I told you guys that we're probably looking at getting into. So if it breaks out that way, then you could be looking at something really big getting ready to play out. Plus, it cannot be understated that we are minting higher lows as we come up here. Like, we're getting more and more and more, and it looks kind of like the Bitcoin chart, where it's kind of ranging here at this 2450 line, that there is a breakout that appears to be imminent. And of course, most of the market kind of looks like that. So anyway, that's what all this stuff looks like. Now, liquidation levels should be noted here that we went over that. Short-term liquidation levels would tell me that a move to 43.5 is probably in the cards, getting into this little short range right here. When we come out to the 3-day, then we're looking more at a sweep down to 42.1, and then it looks like a big move up to 43.6. I mean, 43.5 basically plays out 43.6, something like that, unless the market gets real interested in big money. If it gets real interested in big money, come out to the 1 week. And when you look at the 1 week, you see that it basically confirms, maybe, just maybe, you wick up into the 44,000 level if you get a nice little push. But it looks like there's plenty of liquidity right there. And it just, I mean, it really kind of feels like the market is coiled up waiting for that next big move. I mean, it really looks like that. And that's a gigantic sweep. Look at that right there. Okay, so when you get onto the higher time frames, things do change kind of dramatically here. Right now, this is a hot spot. So I would expect the market is about to attack. Guys, go long up through 44,000 because it looks like there is just a ton of money sitting right there. And if this market is interested in that capital, then it is going to annihilate a bunch of shorts coming very, very, very soon. Like, this is one of those things where the market just appears to be coiled. RSIs are showing XNR. Okay, XMR, if you're looking to make a play, XMR just came into oversold. I'm not telling you the price is going to go up. I'm not telling you anything's going to happen, but I'm telling you that if you're looking at the RSI and you're looking for something to enter a position, XMR is way down here in oversold territory, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking for weak tokens on the immediate, and look at that big precipitous sort of drop. Now, before you would enter that position, you would obviously do some research, try to figure out why is the price coming down. Why is the price coming down on NFP? Why is the price coming down on AI? Why is it on Dog with Hat? What about Pepe? What about Jito? Why are the prices coming down on each one of these? ZEC, Zcash. Zcash to me, probably dead. I mean, like, I want to see something positive with it. And, maybe you will, but, again, you have to kind of look at this. In the 24-hour, it looks like XMR. XRP, way oversold. KNC, ARC, Liquidity, Polyx over here in STPT is also way in the oversold. So, do your own research and kind of figure out what's going on here. Now, XRP, kind of buried themselves for the last little while by getting hacked. I know it was not XRP, but the XRP founder, was it Chris Larson, I think, was hacked. And a bunch of his crypto was stolen. Then you have the uncertainty with the SEC right now, and they're being compelled to provide 2022, 2023 sales so that they can figure out what the proper penalty is. So XRP is going to owe some money. XRP continues to unlock tokens and continues to sell on the chart in order to pay these debts, and people overreact to it. So, XRP is going through some stuff right now. However, it should be noted that while all of that's happening, the other piece that you're getting and the other piece that you're hearing about Doge is that it's starting to, that the government is starting to adopt XRP to use for money transfers around the world. So you should at least consider that there is a very bullish narrative that's going to play out with that over the next little while. So, but anyway, all right, guys. So that's it for today. I got to go. I got some bear stuff that I got to get done. Let's pay some bills real quick. We have a giant update from Cryptonomy.finance, guys. Brand new website. Solana. I'm going to earn 26 Solana for this move right here. About $2,600, $2,600 for my tether over here. The XRP 2,313. Again, these do not unlock for a long period of time. I'm not going to unlock until November, but I'm going to have 0.99, one extra Ethereum. Don't know how much it's going to be worth at that time. You never know. Worth nothing, might be worth a lot. 0.08 Bitcoin I'll have available at that point. 0.037 Bitcoin over here, and then 0.012 Bit. This launch pool. Now I'm locked in until November of 2024. You can see that my accrued interest so far, $57,281.92. Now you might be asking yourself, like, how are you earning this, Blazes? Because I signed up to Cryptonomy.finance. I just put the money in. I gave myself a shot, gave it an opportunity. In the bull run, that's where the money gets made. So I'm gonna let this ride.
I'm looking for the good life, good life.